Welcome into the Commanders Report. I am your host, Jack Sperry, and today we have our 2025 NFL Draft Visit Tracker, at least so far, for your Washington Commanders. So today we're going to be breaking down all the players that we know of that the Washington Commanders have met with at the NFL Combine in the formal fashion and have done a top 30 meeting with the team. And make sure you guys stick around because it seems like there are three players in particular that the Washington Commanders and GM Adam Peters are honing in on at this point in time. Now, before we get into the content today, do me a favor and click that subscribe button. We got in-depth prospect analysis on all the top guys that the Commanders are targeting during this draft season. Also, positional rankings are going to be coming out over these next several weeks at the top positions of need for the Washington Commanders. Also, weekly mock drafts on this channel. We just put one out last Friday. And then also draft pick breakdowns live here on the channel for every single pick that the Commanders make during the NFL Draft this year. And it's all 100% free to join the fastest growing and largest independently run Commanders news channel anywhere on the YouTube platform. So click that subscribe button right now to never miss a thing when it comes to Commanders Draft news and rumors. Okay, so let's go over the list of formal combine meetings. Now, keep in mind here that the team definitely met with more than just these 10 players. But right now, they've been keeping it under wraps quite well which players they are actually meeting with, but they did meet formally with Ashton Jeanty, the top running back in this class, also Jordan James out of Oregon, Josh Conerly Jr., the offensive tackle out of Oregon, Wyatt Milum, the offensive lineman out of West Virginia, Jaylin Noel out of Iowa State, not Iowa, JT Tuimoloau, the edge rusher out of Ohio State, Landon Jackson out of Arkansas, Trey Amos out of Ole Miss, the cornerback, Quincy Riley, another cornerback that I think is a great fit in this Commanders defense, and then Bowman Jr., the coverage specialist at safety out of Oklahoma. And then they have had 4 top 30 visits that we know of so far. They've probably actually had more than this, but they've been keeping it under wraps quite well to this point. But we know that this team has met with Josh Conerly Jr., the offensive tackle out of Oregon, Wyatt Milum, the offensive lineman out of West Virginia. I'm going to try to get these next two names right here, but bear with me. Gerard Christian Lichtenhan. I think I'm doing all right there. And then we got Oluwafemi Oladejo. I think I nailed that one, producer. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. But those are 2 other players that the Commanders have also met with. And I think that the 3 players that I mentioned earlier in today's show that the Commanders are really honing in on are Josh Conerly Jr. out of Oregon, Wyatt Milum out of West Virginia, and then Oladejo out of UCLA. So coming up here, I'm going to give you my full scouting reports on these 3 players, all right? In-depth prospect analysis is coming your way here after a quick break. But first, let's have word from our sponsor here at Fanatics, where right now you can get a brand new Deebo Samuel jersey officially licensed by the National Football League from our friends at Fanatics. When you go to chatsports.com/Deebo to get this Commanders Deebo Samuel jersey in your closet today. He's wearing that number 1. Deebo's a really cool guy, man. Make sure you go chatsports.com/Deebo to get your Deebo Samuel jersey today. They also have Jaden Daniels jerseys up on there, Terry McLaurin jerseys up from our friends at Fanatics. But if you use our link here, chatsports.com/Deebo, and you make a purchase, Fanatics sends us part of the proceeds here at the Commanders Report to help keep the lights on. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. So if you're planning on getting a Deebo Samuel jersey, get one today from our friends at Fanatics to help out the show. Go to chatsports.com/Deebo to get your jersey today. So let's start here with Oregon offensive tackle Josh Conerly Jr. And here's my scouting report on the young man. And the way that I will describe Josh Conerly's game is that he is a very polished pass protector at this point in his football journey. Now, his functional strength needs to get better. He can get beat with power and the bull rush, and his anchoring ability isn't fantastic, but I do think that his footwork, specifically his foot speed, his ability to recover, and his ability to kind of match and mirror speed rushers around the edge is excellent. Also, he does a really good job recognizing stunts and all these different games that the defensive line likes to do. I think he plays with excellent pad level, so he can move people at the line of scrimmage in the run game, despite maybe his lack of functional strength. He has excellent arm length to handle the length of opposing pass rushers, super clean footwork. He's a great mover as well. So for like all of the different type of screens and all the different stuff Cliff Kingsbury likes to do in this offense, he'd be more than capable of getting out in space and making a block down the field. I currently have a late round 1, early round 2 grade on Josh Conerly Jr., and because they're giving him so much attention, and remember, a top 30 visit and a formal combine meeting, it certainly seems like Adam Peters and head coach Dan Quinn are really keeping tabs on Josh Conerly Jr., and he certainly seems like a legitimate possibility for the Commanders when they get to pick number 29 in the first round. Now, somebody that I think could be a target for them on day 2 is Wyatt Milum, another offensive lineman, this time from the West Virginia Mountaineers. Now, Milum played tackle in college, but I project him more as a guard, and I think that he's going to be a day 2 guy as opposed to a round 1 guy like potentially Josh Conerly Jr. could be. His hand placement is excellent, guys. First step explosiveness is really, really there. He plays with excellent pad level, which all tells me that he would be an excellent guard at the next level. He's got powerful hands, can recognize stunts in games at the line of scrimmage as well. And then also he is an absolutely nasty run blocker, right? Particularly in gap and zone, gap and man schemes, power schemes. He can really move some people at the line of scrimmage, and his anchor strength is excellent, which makes me think he'd be an excellent guard. Some of the cons, though, that kind of make me think he's going to have to make that transition from tackle to guard at the National Football League level, though, is he doesn't have the arm length that you look for. He has some stiff hips, and then he's very top-heavy as well. So all those things and all those cons in his profile scream to me top-end guard in the National Football League, and that's exactly what I'm projecting him as. He played a bit of tackle and guard at the Senior Bowl this year, really struggled at tackle, but he played really well at guard. So I think that, what we saw in Mobile this year really fits my profile here of somebody that's probably going to have to move to guard at the next level. And hey, if the plan for the Commanders is to move Brandon Coleman to right tackle long term, Milum can certainly be an excellent left guard candidate for them if they can get him on day 2. Then we'll talk about Oladejo here. Linebacker out of UCLA. Played a bit of inside linebacker. That's where he started his career, but then transitioned to play more on the edge last season for the UCLA Bruins. And let me tell you, man, his bend around the edge is really, really special, all right? That could make him really, really good at the next level. His ability with that first step explosiveness and then marry that with the bend around the edge can really make him dangerous for an opposing offensive tackle that he goes up against. He's also very smart when it comes to run defense. Because he's a former off-ball linebacker, he's really good at diagnosing run plays. He also plays with very powerful hands for his size at 250 pounds. Got exceptional athleticism and first step explosiveness. He has a cross chop move, which is very impressive because last year was his first year as an edge rusher, and he's already developed one of the most complex and difficult moves for an edge rusher to really master, and he's got excellent arm length as well. But the cons is that he's new to the position. He's still developing as an edge rusher, and I think that he's got some pretty nice upside here, guys, especially for somebody that's probably going to go on early day 3, probably going to be a round 4 or round 5 prospect here. Needs to work on his anchor strength. He's not going to be somebody that's a run stuffer that's 280, 290 pounds and just really take on tackles and just stymie them. He's going to be more of an outside linebacker type if the Commanders end up getting him, but they are showing him a lot of love and attention. They gave him a very long meeting before his pro day at UCLA a couple of days ago, and I think that if he's there in round 4 and they haven't taken an edge rusher yet, Oladejo is somebody that the Commanders are really going to be looking at. So shout out your guy down there in the comment section. Which prospect in the NFL draft this year do you really hope that GM Adam Peters and head coach Dan Quinn bring into the fold here in 2025? It can be any round. It can be your favorite first-round draft pick target. It can be somebody in the middle rounds. It could be a late-round sleeper. Just give me a draft prospect that you really like, that you would love to see in burgundy and gold next year. That'll be it for today's show, guys. Thank you so much for making it to the end of today's edition of Commanders Draft Rumors. We're going to have more for you guys as the week goes on, of course, all culminating in a Commanders Report live show. Haven't been live in a little while here, guys, but we will be getting back to our normal schedule this week. Starting on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time is when we're going to be going live on Wednesday. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until next time, guys, hail to the Commanders.